For now, we'll cross, though, to our Italy correspondent, Seema Gupta, who is standing by for us in Sperlonga. Hi, Seema. So what is behind the lack of teachers in Italy, then?
Well, essentially, it's a massive lack of teachers that what's been experienced here in Italy and for the last couple of years. And this year, yet again, the unions are saying kids go back to school mid-September, but there's an estimated 150,000 teaching jobs that are lacking. They just don't have the teachers for them. 10,000 support staff, that includes school janitors as well as secretarial jobs, and 200 principals that need principal roles that need to be filled. And one of the key issues, really, why that's the case is the low salaries that teachers receive here in Italy. It's one of the lowest at the European Union level, and that's because also Italian teachers, a lot of them have very precarious contracts. There are no strong contracts that last a longer term, so a lot of them feel a lack of security. They're not hired for a significant period of time. And that makes it also less attractive to younger people that may be interested in entering the profession. Now, the last pay rise that teachers received was back in 2018, and it was the last one in the last 12 years or so. So really, there's not been much change in terms of the salaries they receive. On top of that, Italy also has one of the oldest teachers in the European Union. Some 55% of teachers here in Italy are over the age of 50, and 18% of them are over the age of 60. And what that means is that those that eventually retire just are not being replaced fast enough. Add to that, the last 3 years of the pandemic, which affected the older population in the country, also meant that many teachers felt that they didn't feel secure enough to go back to work, many of them with fragile health issues. That has also led to a lack of teachers. That problem is made worse for support teachers here in Italy. Those are the ones that deal with disabled students. And so often schools are forced to take in people that may not have the specific training that is required to help disabled children. So really, for the unions, there's a feeling that there's not enough being done, not enough permanent contracts. And there's concern now that with spending that was supposed to help for COVID issues being taken away, perhaps when the new year, the pandemic is not going anywhere right now, is what the union leaders are saying, and they want that spending as well to remain in place. So we'll have to see, but really a lot of concern as schools are set to open in a couple of weeks.
Certainly no shortage of issues facing the education system, Seema, as you made clear there. So Italy will be going to the polls later this month. Given all of the things that you just mentioned, how might education figure into campaigning?
Well, you're absolutely right. I mean, Italians go to the poll on the 25th of September. And while the different parties may have different strategies in terms of what they expect to see in the schooling and in the education system, there seems to be full agreement across the board that the teachers need to be paid more. I mean, you have the far-right leader, Giorgia Meloni, proposing that, but you also have Enrico Letta from the center-left Democratic Party also agreeing on that point that teachers' pay needs to be increased. But a recent survey among teachers showed that some 92% of those surveyed don't even believe what these politicians are saying. They believe it's just election propaganda. One teacher I spoke to said every time an election rolls around, they promise us lots, but when it actually comes to what we see on the ground, it's pretty much nothing. So they don't really believe that that's going to happen. It's also interesting to note that the percentage of the GDP that is spent on education in terms of at an EU level, Italy again comes out lower than the EU average. And so there's concern that maybe more money is being spent on other issues such as perhaps defense, but not enough on education.
All right, Seema, well, we'll see if that consensus then uniting all of those parties holds once the elections come and go. Seema Gupta, thank you very much.